If you're here watching this video, then you're obviously thinking about buying the M1 MacBook Air. But my question to you is, why haven't you bought it yet? It is a fantastic laptop and there are countless reviews, probably millions of reviews out there telling you it's a fantastic laptop. Well, you obviously want a little bit more convincing, so in this video, I'm going to be going through a few reasons why it's totally worth buying, even in 2024. Just for reference, I have the M1 MacBook Air with 16GB of RAM and a 256GB SSD. So for me, one of the standout features of the M1 MacBook Air is the portability. It is incredibly lightweight and small for a laptop, even though you still got that 13.3-inch screen. It's just so easy to take around with you wherever you go. It weighs just 1.29 kilograms, which is amazing considering the power that's inside this laptop. So whether or not I'm working in the house or I'm going to a coffee shop, I always take the M1 MacBook Air with me because it's just so easy to take around. And I think that's one of the most important things about owning a laptop like this. If it encourages you to actually take it with you so you can work away from home, then it's doing exactly what it should be. I used to own the 15-inch Retina MacBook Pro, which was a lot heavier than this, maybe about 2 times heavier. And the best thing about this laptop is the power to size ratio. What actually convinced me to buy the M1 MacBook Air was the introduction of the Retina displays. So before this, the MacBook Airs always had like a fairly low resolution screen compared to the Pros, which made that sort of difference and jump worth it if you wanted a better quality screen. However, on the M1 MacBook Air, we've got a really crisp, sharp Retina display. Now, it might not be as good as the new Liquid Retina and XDR displays, but compared to the original MacBook Air, this is leaps and bounds ahead of what we had before. This screen has been perfect for me, whether or not I'm streaming Netflix, going on YouTube, editing videos, editing photos. It just works in every single situation. One thing to consider is if you do need a laptop with a slightly larger screen, like a 15-inch, then Apple do sell the M2 MacBook Air, which has a 15-inch screen, which in my opinion puts it pretty much on par with the MacBook Pro, not necessarily in all of the features, but in terms of the general experience as a user. But if you're more than happy with a 13-inch screen, then the M1 MacBook Air is still going to be a great option. And as I said, the screen is beautiful. I'm sure you can tell from the clips I'm putting in this video. Now, although Apple sell the MacBook Pro as the professional laptop for editing photos and videos, don't worry, the M1 Air is still very capable of editing photos and videos. In fact, just recently I edited a 5-minute short film on my M1 MacBook Air. No issues scrubbing through the footage, and I was going through ProRes files, really high quality files with color grades on there, effects, music, different tracks, and there were no issues at all. Compared to a high performance PC, there is obviously going to be a difference. My main PC can render out that 5-minute short in maybe 2 to 3 minutes, whereas on the M1 MacBook Air, it's around 20 minutes, but still 20 minutes is not bad for a laptop of this size. When you take into consideration the size, portability of this thing, what's 20 minutes? Just let it render, it doesn't really matter. Yes, you're not going to be getting super fast render speeds, but this is going to be more than enough for most people. Now you might be wondering, with all this power, surely the battery life isn't going to be too great. M1 chips, M chips in general, super efficient. The battery life is fantastic on these. Sometimes I don't charge my MacBook Air up for about a week and I can still get multiple hours of use per day on this thing. It is incredibly good in terms of battery life compared to any laptop I have ever owned. I also remember a time when low battery life would often mean decreased performance on laptops, particularly on Windows laptops that have sort of battery saving measures to ensure that they don't die too quickly, lowering CPU usage and stuff like that. But on the M1 Air, again, not an issue, never been an issue I've experienced, and I'm sure there's reviews out there to back this up. Now, something you may be wondering about is heat. So MacBooks from prior years used to get super hot. The MacBook Air does get quite warm, and there's not even a fan in this laptop. So you might be thinking, well, surely it gets super hot if there's no fan. Again, M1 chips, M chips. I can keep going on about this, but they are so efficient. They don't get that hot, so you can sit editing or doing whatever you want on your MacBook Air all day long, and it's not going to get that warm. Gone are the days where, especially as a man, if you had a laptop on your lap and it started getting very hot, you'd be starting to feel a bunch of different things. But with the M1 MacBook Air, again, not an issue anymore. Now, although the M1 MacBook Air does have some incredible performance, there are a few drawbacks to this laptop. So the first for me is only having 2 Thunderbolt ports. So this hasn't really been a huge problem while I've had the laptop, but there have been times where I've needed more ports, and I have a hub, but sometimes the hub can be a little bit unreliable, and then you kind of think to yourself, well, this is annoying. I wish I just had some USBs, maybe an SD card slot, all of those kind of things, which the newer MacBook Pros do have. have. So if you are someone that doesn't like carrying around dongles, then maybe look at the MacBook Pro, but I don't know if that's really worth the price difference just for the convenience. The biggest drawback for me on this laptop is the fact that you can only use one external display. So if you're someone that likes having a dual screen setup, then this laptop isn't going to work for you. Now, this can be a big issue for those of you who like to photo edit, video edit, or coders, for example, who utilize multiple screens. But if you're someone that's planning to just use the laptop screen or one external display, then this isn't really an issue. So why did I even buy the M1 MacBook Air and not the Pro at the time? Well, honestly, it's because the lines were so blurred. The M1 MacBook Air had so many fantastic reviews. YouTube reviewers were saying how powerful it was and really not that much difference in power compared to the MacBook Pro at the time. So that's what led me to buy the M1 MacBook Air. And I don't think you need any other reasons. If you're looking at this as a laptop that you're going to be doing most daily tasks on, maybe a bit of photo editing, maybe a bit of video editing, then there's no reason why this laptop won't be perfect for you. So wrapping up this video, the M1 MacBook Air is a fantastic laptop, even in 2024, making it just over 3 years old, which when you think about it in terms of technology, a lot happens in 3 years. Usually in 3 years, that product is nowhere near as good as current products. Most people looking for a high performance laptop wouldn't even think about buying one that's 3 years old. But this is where the M1 MacBook Air really shines. It's light, it's portable, it's powerful, it's everything you need in a laptop. So hopefully you found this video useful. If you've been looking at getting the M1 MacBook Air, honestly, I don't know why you haven't bought it at this point. Just buy the thing, you will not regret it. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like, it really helps out my channel, and subscribe if you want to see more from me. I have lots of videos planned for 2024, and I look forward to sharing them with you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.